tonight, and they've brought libations so they can stay. Also, Buddy and Andy are here from the Still in Progress. What do you call it, Buddy? Go over to the microphone. What is it? What is it? The Work in Progress website? What is it?
Still working on it.
He's talking to the microphone.
Okay, man.
Still working on it website.
Stillworkingonit.com.
Stillworkingonit.com. Now, explain your website. Go ahead.
It's Ellipse Productions. It's about a small, washed-up 80s rock band. It's a local series.
Yes. And we have one of our former disc jockeys that's working on the program. Is that right?
Yes, a lovely Jordan Sinclair.
Jordan Sinclair's over there doing something. So is this thing going to air or what?
Yeah, we're talking to a couple distributors, and we've got a couple avenues we're working on right now. Man, what a weird day.
Like a bad movie or something.
No, if it was a bad movie, I'd be getting robbed right now. You know, Cam, that ain't even funny.
What? Dude, give me your money or die.
I think he's serious.
Cam, come back next week. I'm broke right now, okay?
What are you trying to do? What, my tough?
What? Are you insane? You just took my gun.
I'm a businessman. You want to buy it back? Don't bring your toys in here.
All right, guys, what's going on in here? Wait a minute. I know you. All right, let's go downtown because you got some splaining to do.
Mom, why don't I just take you in the back and shove some donuts down your throat?
Hey, you know what? We got a special place for smart asses like you. It's called the trunk. Let's go. Come on. You too, big boy. Let's go.
You're kind of cute. What are you doing after the delousing?
It's the saga of a washed-up 80s rock and roll band.
Oh, really? Who?
The rock band Lips. They have now stepped into the new millennium.
Incident there, I left the company, went back to school, and started working on my Bachelor of Fine Arts from Southwest Texas in theater. And me and Buddy kept in touch, and he kept calling me about having this great idea, and he was like, when are you going to graduate? When are you going to graduate? I've got this show idea. So that's how Still Working on It evolved. I graduated, Buddy told me the idea, we had a couple of cram sessions, and we weren't getting anywhere because Buddy had written scripts before, and I directed one-act plays and did student films. And we basically, I just decided one day I'm at work and I wrote a quick script, and that became the premise for Still Working on It.
Martin DeLone, local producer, director, Houston, Texas. I guess a couple of things about my first projects was I worked on a few short films. I did one called New Toy. It was just a short about a guy that buys a computer that knows nothing about computers. Came up with the idea on an airplane in about 3 minutes, and got with my brother. We sat down. We got my uncle. He actually knows nothing about computers, so we basically put him in a room with some computer boxes and a whole bunch of components, and we told him to put this computer together. He had no clue. So the whole thing about the movie was that an actual true story. This guy knew nothing about computers, but I did put a few other components in there, and it won me a couple of small awards, nothing big. But what I gained out of that film, out of more than anything, because I really don't like short films to make because they aren't really sellable. But what I learned from the short film was that you could take a quick idea, go shoot it. Took me 5 hours to shoot it, probably 20 hours to edit it, and you got a finished product that you can go get out there, and you could show people what you've got. And I think the biggest thing for me was when it was shown at a film festival in Houston, and the theater was packed because they were all in there for different movies, not just my movie, because nobody knew me anyway. But when it came, we sat through this painful movie. It just sucked. It was like 2 hours of pain. And when it came to my movie, my short was only 5 minutes long, and it was like to the point. It flowed real well, and people actually laughed at points I wanted them to laugh at. And it was at that point where I realized, hey, this is really cool. You got people laughing. There's no words, there was no script, but yet people still enjoyed it. So I think that to me was the biggest compliment and a driver to continue on.
Let's just get this over with. These were the last people I wanted to see today. Well, with Still Working on It, we were kind of just getting in the groove, you know, and the partnerships were just coming together. you know, of new actors and new friends, and took a lot of trial and error. You know, a lot of times we had to make some mistakes to find out that that wasn't the thing to do. And, you know, we brought in some new people and wrote some new scripts and just started kicking butt. It was great.
Long time ago, I got a call by Jordan Sinclair, and she was telling me about a bunch of guys who were making a film. I thought that was pretty cool. So without any hesitation in my mind, I went ahead and followed up and met a great group of guys. La Tigre Production. La Tigre. Anyway, these guys, from what I gather, were basically a bunch of guys who wanted to start something. What's the big kick out of it? Just having fun. And also smart. Now, well, of course, you got to be smart. That's what you do. But these guys were willing to take what they did on digital camera and put it on the web. That means stuff that I did or any other actor would be accessed easily by the internet across the world, which is ultimately a great idea, especially if you want to start in this business. I personally just love having fun. And I think with Artigo Productions, you can too.
Ace, you want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, I was at my first concert, man. Lips Taste Metal. They're the coolest band in the whole world. And it's...
That's okay, Ace. Try and tell us your story and struggle through the pain.
Well, I was right there in the front row. They announced the band, they come out on stage, and they started fighting. I couldn't believe it, man. I was so bummed out. They broke up right there on stage.
I know how traumatic that must have been for you.
At that point, I vowed that I wouldn't rest until I found him. So for 11 years, I've been chasing down rumors, only to come up with dead ends.
Well, I've pretty much been in on this project almost pretty much since the beginning. First met Buddy at Compact through another friend of mine. And he introduced me to Greg. And when I first met Greg, it was kind of strange. I wasn't quite sure like what to think of him when I first met him, because it was like reminded me a little bit of myself, but maybe a little more demonic.
Okay, what about Buddy?
Buddy's a really good guy, man. It's like, I don't know. I said I've known Buddy for probably about 3 years, a little bit longer than I've known Greg. But well, actually, for both of them, they're both the kind of guys that'll like give you their shirts off their backs. You know, they're great guys, man. You know.
What's it like to work with the both of them?
Work with the both of them? Well, on set, it's very interesting. Greg get a little upset at times, but, you know, if you know him, it doesn't freak you out too much. Buddy tries to be, you know, composed most of the time, though he has his moments as well.
Right on set. Jeremy, walk in. Take one.
Do any of y'all want a haircut?
Get back up, do it again.
Back up, do it again.
Take two. Action.
Do any of y'all want a haircut?
Take it back. Jeremy, this time start looking this way, then pan that
This way now.
Okay.
All right.
Take it off. Take it off. Get the off stage. Take three. Action.
Do any of y'all want a haircut?
Do it again, but this time walk off.
All right.
What about a big old greasy grand when he walks in? Where's Steve?
Big old greasy grand.
Hi, you ain't done.
Take four. Action.
Do any of y'all want a haircut?
Take five.
I just know how hard it is to get a good haircut. So, you know, like you can get good color, and you can get a good cut, but you can't get good color and a good cut. It's like Murphy's Law. You'll find the perfect barber, the perfect stylist, and they can't do color. And you find the perfect colorist, and they can't cut your hair. So you walk out and one thing's messed up every time. So I wouldn't be happy.
Look,
And then
pan.
gone.
Say line. Cut. Jeremy walking on. Take five.
Do any of y'all want a haircut?
One more time.
Alright.
Take 6. Don't start anything until I say action.
Okay. I didn't ever say.
Take 6. Once you stepped on frame, it's action.
Alright, we just say action.
Well, you moved before I said action, so cut. Do it again. Once you move, you already started the scene.
Alright, I'll stay right here. Okay.
Until he says action.
Alright.
Slate it. Take 6. Action.
Do any of y'all want a haircut?
Cut. That'll work. Yeah. That gives you that. Jeremy walking on, take 7. Action.
Do any of y'all want a haircut? Better?
Better. Let's try it one more time. Jeremy walking on, take 8. Back off, get back off. You're in frame. Get off. There. Action.
Do any of y'all want a haircut? What do you think?
Slate. Jeremy, take 8. Action.
Do any of y'all need a haircut?
Mean I don't get paid?
Sorry, buddy. I know that frustrates you. No, I do. I remember bringing Jason and Scream together. That was a beautiful moment. It's been like 6 years, right?
Right.
God, that's like 40 years in a gay marriage. That's really cool. Good for them. I know, like, they both had the same kind of vibe, you know, creepy vibe.
You keep your hands off my wiki.
This is the first Reggie. This is the second Reggie.
And I give lessons. You can call me at...
And you're also a cook, is it, at the Pork and Go barbecue?
Third Reggie's on his way.
I started out as, I would say, a newbie or a rookie in this particular field. But Greg, Buddy, everybody, I'm learning from them all the time. So I'm still learning, but from when you're starting until now, there's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of new things that popped up that we never thought that it could happen. So it's a lot of, basically we evolving regardless. So we're learning new things all the time.
Camera rolling. Right on set. Scott scene. Take 1. Action.
What script were you?
Get rid of the script. I just thought of it. Scott scene. Take 2. Action.
Man, what script were y'all reading? You guys are totally whack.
Good. Let's do it one more time that way.
Oh, rule says yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Said not to, okay.
So I guess that's cool.
Camera roll. Scott, take 3. Action.
Man, what guys? What? Hold on. Tongue tie. No, we own your pride.
It's really not a problem. I mean, I can just get the word out that we need another guitarist.
How do you want?
I don't want to talk to you. Oh! Ah! Why? Why me?
You all right?
You all right? Get it? You okay?
Smile.
Yes. You okay? I caught you.
Damn, Scott, you all right? It was me. It was. I looked at this one shot. I was doing this one line where I was just trying to run off the cuff, and I looked at the camera, and there's this goofy look on my face, and I go, doom, 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 doom. And that was really funny, just because I look like a complete dork.
What about the rest of the band?
Well, there are reports that Grant Borunodolto, the bass player, bing, ding, 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 was touring the country looking for his dream girl. Well, they're all stories, though, man, you know?
Alan, it's Grant. Sure is. Grant, what's happening?
Hi, not a lot. Just looking for my... Just gotta... Oh, God.
Just got to take that line.
They always wanted me to do gay stuff, and I didn't have a problem with that at first, but I just see this reoccurring role and maybe a stereotype or a typecasting that they're trying to do, and it should be concerned in any actors or wannabe actors type of career. I think I want more straight roles, to tell you the truth.
Probably when Greg put on my dress. And he looked kind of good in it, too. He needed some breastises, but other than that, he was fine. He put on my dress. Let's see, what else happened? Oh, the time that we had to put Greg in a tree so he could boom a scene. That was funny. He almost fell out. That was funnier.
Oh my God! You ever seen that movie Cruising with Al Pacino? You ever see that movie Cruising with Al Pacino? You could be in it like that.
Oh,
I know what you're doing, Larry.
Hey.
Hey, come on, get in the way, bro. Lights, man, lights.
Camera.
As soon as this car's gone, let's make insurance.
Okay.
Tonight on Real TV.
I'm ready.
They thought they were shooting a movie.
Buddy kind of looked like he came off Mama's Family after a bad, acid trip or something.
How'd we do?
Full house. Made 800,000 droplets.
Woohoo! How much is that in American money?
I was just looking, $7.35. You're on.
This is a hard way to make a living. On the beach with peppermint, babe. Oh yeah, I love American women.
I liked Buddy, of course, I did. Just something reminds me of the Washington Redskins Hogs or something like that, sitting in the stands going, "Yay team, go Skins!"
When I first met Buddy and Greg, I was actually working on a movie called La Taqueria. It's a bilingual film that I pretty much wrote, and then had somebody rewrite, and then directed and produced. Well, I needed a redneck for the scene, and I had cast one guy who went there. He was his name's Rex Raver. He was there at the casting call just to accompany some friends, and it turns out he looked just like the redneck we needed for our movie. So I casted him. He actually came to several rehearsals, and then realized because of his work schedule he couldn't make it. So I got another redneck. He told me that he was gonna get me somebody else because he couldn't make it, so he wouldn't inconvenience us. But he actually knew somebody who was gonna be 10 times better as far as being the redneck, size-wise and everything else, because Rex was about 5'6", somewhere around there, 5'3" or something like that. And the redneck he had in mind to replace him was 6'1" or somewhere around there. Buddy Howard, really big guy. After 6 feet, I can't tell. But he got Buddy Howard to give me a call, so I called. He called me, I called him back, just typical stuff, phone tag. And finally got to meet this guy the day of the shoot. I called him up and said, okay, let's go ahead and get you down here. Well, turns out we were actually shooting several scenes before, several days before I actually met Buddy. And one of the scenes needed the redneck, so I called Buddy up desperately saying, look, I need to have the redneck. Well, unfortunately, because of time or whatever, he couldn't make it, so we put a stand-in redneck in this actual scene, and it was the father of a friend of mine. Anyway, the stand-in redneck, he did a pretty good job, but he just didn't have the look, and he couldn't memorize the lines worth anything. So when Buddy showed up a couple of days later to the set, we got Buddy to go ahead and do the scene, and first look at Buddy, he was great. He was perfect for the scene. Then when he went over the lines and he actually acted it out, we got him to do a couple of improv parts of the scene. Just came out great. He's a great actor. So after talking with Buddy on the set, I didn't have too much time to talk when we were there on the set because we were on a press schedule. We put some time aside, and he introduced me to Greg a couple of weeks after shooting Taqueria. Got to meet Greg and kind of hit it off with these guys in terms of trying to get some projects together. So that's how I met Buddy and Greg. We were at like Fridays or one of these restaurant chains, and first impressions are kind of strange all the time, especially with Buddy and Greg. First impression, there's a lasting one. Let's just say it that way. But overall, it was a really good experience, and then we were able to go to NAPTI, and that's where Greg came up with this idea of me helping him out in a project he was coming up. Well, I didn't even know if this was even going to happen, so what I did is I said, okay, just call me when you're ready to go on this, and it was some Survivor spoof. So then I get a call a few weeks after NAPTI, and they say, well, we're ready to shoot. And it was him and Buddy, and so I said, all right, how can I help? And we helped. I helped get some of the cast because they had a lot of the cast, and some of it was still deficient. So I made a few phone calls, and sure enough, we completed the cast. Greg and Buddy loved the people that we brought on board. They were real strange characters, so that just added to the show. And I mean, that was kind of the start of it. Then being out there in the woods, just to begin with, a lot of people were kind of like, well, where the hell are we? Out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knew anybody. A few people knew me. I knew a few people, and we were out there with just a bunch of people that didn't know each other. But all in all, everybody hit it off great. A lot of eating buffalo wings. A few of the vegetarians didn't like that, but oh well, it's part of shooting on a low budget. A lot of beer, and I guess there was too much beer. Oh well, it helped me. Act out what I had to act out. I think improv is probably the easiest for me because I remember a lot. So it was great that Buddy and Greg came up with this whole improv idea. It was a lot of fun. And then it was the wig. It was all going smooth until they said, "Hey, you gotta put this wig on and have a couple of hillbillies hump your leg." That's when I was crying union. Though I'm not part of a union, I wish the damn union was there because I knew that wasn't gonna happen then. But anyway, I got over it. Didn't have too much soreness the next day, and we kept shooting because the show must go on. So that's basically my experience on the production side of Wilderness Survivor with these guys, Buddy and Greg, La Tigra Productions, and with Mike Marston, who helped provide some of the equipment and some of the interesting shots of one of our characters' breasts. But anyway, we won't add that to this video. The other thing was on the post-production side, we were gonna just try to get this thing edited quick. Well, this edit turned into like episodes to like 3 months worth of hell, if not more. We're still editing. Well, Greg is. I was helping out a lot at the beginning, then I got real busy with my schedule, so it got kind of crazy. Plus, most of that stuff's in, like, director's head or the creator's head, so it's only so much you can cut as an editor without, knowing where you're going. So it is good that Greg kind of took handle of that whole side. Plus, we're working on other stuff, working on scripts, trying to get stuff produced. But that's pretty much my participation in this project of Wilderness Survivor the game, besides being an actor and producer and helping out somewhat with the edit. I actually helped out with a few of the cameras too, because when you're out there in the wilderness with a light budget like we were, you just got to do everything you can. So, for all the you future producers, try to get money before you do it, and if you don't, well, call us up. We'll tell you how it can be done, hopefully, if we got a phone connected by then, because that's the life of the guerrilla filmmaker. But that's about it. Check out Wilderness Survivor. Check out La Taqueria with Buddy Howard and everybody else. So, look forward to seeing you guys out there.
This is gross.
Well,
No cojones, no chance, eh?
oh my God.
It ain't cheating if I'm old.
No.
There's my boy.
I am a gentleman of noble descent. At least you, I understand.
Being poor is boring. I'm gonna put you aside. If I had been a boy, you wouldn't left me stuck here in this taqueria, huh?
Get out of here, you little beggar. Go and sell your chicles in Taqueria Campana.
That's my girl, Janine. I've been working on her for quite a while.
Would you share with us?
Stuck you! Don't be fool. He will kill you. It's no good for the business to be carving up the customers. You know what? You prepare the food.
I know some damn good tacos.
What you think? Run, my mom. They're open though. Ah! Ah! Ay, Dios mío.
No nos taquio!
Oh my God.
Ja.
And welcome to week 3. As we watch the contestants struggle out in the wilderness, we wonder just how long they can hang on. With only 10 more weeks left, can they do it?
Today,
We shall see.
you're studying the Homo sapien. But this one, the militus kind. Military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Anyway, now this guy's a little bit larger than the normal breed. If you can tell, you actually see the smaller brain size that he has in his cranium. They're usually aggressive animals, but this one's a biggie. Oh boy, I haven't seen one this big since the Nationals and rugby finals over in the shower room. Hi, Steve. Well, anyway, let's find out how aggressive he is. So, how you doing?
Dying ain't much of a living, boy.
America needs
All
another
I need is a
whorehouse.
beer. It's trying to go, okay? If you just head on up the trail, Ozzy.
Oh, boy, Ozzy.
Oh. Ah.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Oh, it's I got bit by a snake bite. I'm trying to get the poison out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I can suck that out for you if you want.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I got bit by a snake!
I'm not a doctor, but I really care like one. I took some first aid courses in college. Lie down, mister. It's for your own good.
I'd rather die!
Come on! Come on! Look, it's for your own good. You can take it like a man, mister.
Get off me!
No one's gonna die on my watch.
Oh my God, there's a man touching my tool! No!
good one. Good one, the way I like it. Oh yeah, that'll do. That'll do just fine. Hey, can a man have a little privacy? Huh? Cut the camera.
Back to the show. Hi, I'm Alex P. Quinton, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Wilderness Etymology. That's right, our favorite subject, the study of insects. Once again, we're back to the spider. If we look in here, you see the wonderful, beautiful spider. I'm not sure if you'll see that. Maybe the cameraman will take a roll around. Oh, she's a beauty. See, about 2 weeks ago, I got kind of lonely, and I basically pleasured myself with this hole.
Regarding to shooting, he wants things to be done. I wouldn't say a perfectionist, but he wants things to be done right all the time. And Buddy's more like he's more of the type of guy who's dealing with things that's more creative. But he's more laid back, but he has a lot of I don't know how to describe it, but he's more like he has his own touch. Let's just say, put it that way. He has his own touch regarding to things.
Buddy, you're awesome. You're a sweetheart. It's been such a pleasure to know you. But here's one thing. All right, you're watching this right now. Take the remote control and turn the volume up, right? Just turn the you can't, all right? Because you can't take directions. Ooh, how do I turn the volume up? I can't take directions. Buddy, I'm kidding. All right, I'm just messing with you. I love you. Thanks.
All right. Besides size, I mean, that's one. I always thought Buddy to be just a touch more conservative. And Greg was the one always carrying the pistol on the set.
Buddy's more laid back.
Worst thing would have to be when we were still, one of the worst things would have to be when we were still working on it, and we were waiting out in front of one of our locations, and Greg like kicked over the newsstand and like freaked that one guy out.
Greg, what confuses me right now is, Greg has a bit of a short fuse, and, well, it's been 6 years, Greg. Doesn't this make you want to throw somebody or kick them in the balls, or just, the short temper, dude, it's been 6 years. Am I getting you pissed?
It's kind of like how night and day is different, Greg's real high-strung and Buddy's like, hey, man, it's cool. We'll get it. It's all right. So it's totally opposite ends of the ocean.
The first rumor was of Cam Renrock. After the band split up, his wife divorced him. He spent some time at the Keith Moon Clinic for mentally challenged drummers. You heard of it, right? And I heard he had a little car wash for a while.
Hey, car wash, $5.
Sir, what are you doing?
Want your car washed, sir?
No, I do not want my car washed. Where are your clothes, sir?
I don't know.
Sir, if you don't put on your clothes, we're gonna have to take you in.
Kill him! Destroy him! The moment you've all been waiting for. Our new head coach, former Vipers fullback, and Super Bowl winner, Patrick McMahon. Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Thank you,
Tell me something.
Thank you, Muskrat fans.
Go Muskrat.
As the mighty Muskrat gnaws down the tree.
That's right.
To make a home for the other muskrats.
Make a hole, baby. Make a hole. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Number 12.
Okay. Try that again.
Get him security.
Okay. As the mighty muskrat gets caught in a trap.
Yeah.
And gnaws off his leg to free himself.
Yeah. No, leg off. Yeah. Gnaw off your leg, muskrat.
Okay.
Number 12.
So the muskrat doesn't gnaw off his leg.
That's just great. Mom said I was going to get to move out once we'd won a game.
Mom said the same thing about me. She even said I'd start dating girls.
Man, we're going to have to go back down to Fat Boy Roy's and get our jobs back.
Well, I ain't giving Dean Mean any more free refills.
Man, I sure hope Roy ain't naked.
Ugh.
You guys are awesome. It's just great to know that you guys are still keeping it going and doing what you believe in. And, you know, with this much heart and this much passion and energy and effort, you're going to make it happen. And whatever you do, don't stop working on it. Do your thing. You guys rock. Thank you.
What are you doing with my Winky?
I'm washing him. Dirty pussycat.
You want to run that by me again?
I do more buddy for food.
That's what you get. Now give me my cat. Oh, come on, Winky.
But I knew that the demographic in the U.S., the Mexican demographic, was so big, and taquerias are so prevalent that this made a good idea to kind of make a movie. And originally it was going to start out real dark. I read a kind of a deal about somebody on a border that was killing people, and then I thought, you know what, that'd be pretty interesting to have like cops going to investigate this. This had to do with Matamoros killings and stuff, and you know the cops are investigating. They're going to a taqueria on the border, and the tacos they're eating are actually, they can't find the bodies, and that's what it is. It's like the meat is the body. So it was pretty dark, gruesome, but I thought, hey, this is kind of a sellable thriller, dark movie. So then as I got more into it, I learned more about the kind of Latino market in the U.S. Well, dark movies don't really do well with Latinos in the U.S. And even abroad. So what I got into was more of a comedy, and I just kind of started writing it. I was on an oil rig in Venezuela. I started writing it, and I emailed this writer that just found me on some forum, and he wanted to write it. So I basically wrote the whole script. It was like 60 pages. I'd write 10 pages a night, and it was really painful and hard to do, but I told myself, you gotta write, because I came up with the whole story, but the writer, you know, he'd improve on it. So basically I took 60 pages, which actually took me longer than just 6 days, because as I got further along, it was like 3 pages, and I couldn't go any further, and I was real tired from working all day. So it got to a point where after about 10 days I was finished with the script. I was sending it on these real slow satellite connections. It was like 10 kilobits per second or something like that. It was so slow. But the writer was able to take everything I wrote and flushed out a 120-page script. Then I basically came back to the States off of Hitch, because I would work 28, and I'd be off for 28 days, so I had time to really prepare for the movie. So we did casting. Really had never done any of this stuff before, but kind of self-taught filmmaker, been to a lot of seminars, been to LA a lot, and read a lot of books. I pretty much own every book you can think of on filmmaking. So to me that was a big help. But I think the number one help was just the fact that you just don't ever stop. You don't listen to anybody, because people will tell you stuff every day that will tell you don't do that movie, or you got to change this and that, but they don't really know the movie. The movie's up here, so you've got to just get out there and do it. And that's what I kept telling myself. Everybody else is crazy, and I'm normal. So that's the only way I got it done.
And as Frank Sinatra once said, I did it my way, and we're going to do it ours. And there's not really anybody that can stop us.
And ba-deep, 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 ba-deep. That's all, folks.